Hey everyone, it's Steven here again, and the big news this week is that the Snowflake Summit conference has just wrapped up. For this week's episode, I'm going to talk to you about some of the new features they announced and the new products that you can expect to be able to use in Snowflake fairly soon. The theme of the conference seemed to be increasing interoperability of data and increasing access points for open data standards. So Iceberg, of course, was front and center for the announcements this week. First thing is that Snowflake now has support for Iceberg version 3. That support is now going into general availability. Snowflake's support for it, which has been in public preview since March, is now generally available, and it includes actually certain features like the variant data type, the semi-structured data, row lineage for cross-engine change tracking, deletion vectors for fast row-level deletes, nanosecond timestamps, default values, and geospatial types. So they're adding quite a lot of support to the Iceberg support within Snowflake. Another interesting thing they announced was something called Snowflake Storage for Iceberg Tables. So this is already in general availability for AWS and Azure. GCP is coming into private preview pretty soon, but basically Snowflake will provision and manage the actual Iceberg files, so you don't have to have an external bucket attached to your Iceberg query engine. In my opinion, that kind of defeats the purpose a little bit of having Iceberg data, because if you're just going to store the data on Snowflake natively, you might as well just use a native Snowflake table, but there's probably a use case out there I'm not thinking of. A couple of other quick things. Bidirectional read-writes are now supported for external engines like Spark, Trino, and PyIceberg. So formerly you could only read from those engines. Now you can read and write, which is a big deal. And there's a private preview out for something called Parquet Direct, which is a way to just query existing Parquet files in place as if they were being connected by Iceberg. This is a feature that DuckDB actually has had for a long time, so it kind of makes sense to see Snowflake catching up on this.